Howdy, welcome back to Kulpable. It's been a tough week, which is part of the inspiration of today's episode. I've been working out there on the container house, and it has been raining all week, and the container house weighs thousands of pounds of steel, so it hasn't been very easy. Again, I'll recap that in more depth in a separate piece of content somewhere. But that leads us to today's episode. You know, I've been a relatively healthy person over the last few years. I work out a lot. I avoid most carbs. I don't have any calories in my drinks, and I move, and I'm generally aware of health, nutrition. I even wrote a book about how people like me who sit on a computer all day can get a lot healthier, and it will be somewhere here on the screen. But one of the things that stuck with me, and I'm now seeing it as poison, one of the things that stuck with me throughout this fitness health journey is the idea of cheat meals. Cheat meals are a common hack for people to be healthy 99% of the time, but occasionally to either relieve pressure or deal with social situations or just psychological anxiety. You eat something you know you shouldn't eat, like a donut. There's also theories that cheat meals are actually good for your health because they will sort of shock your metabolism into not being lazy, basically. You're forcing your metabolism to figure out how to deal with a new challenge, something that's really high fat or whatever. And so cheat meals were sort of one of those things I picked up on from Tim Ferriss and other healthy, influential people. And I've used them over the years to I guess, achieve goals. But this week, I've been rethinking cheat meals, rethinking it primarily because of what I'm doing out there in this pouring down rain, putting together a container home. And, this week, I've had donuts 3 times. Last week, I had donuts 0 times. This week, I was very stressed out. Last week, I was not stressed out. So stress equals donuts. I can call those cheat meals, but it doesn't address the root problem. And this reminds me that cheat meals have always been taught as something we can schedule in to our day or week. Wait until Friday night. Wait until Saturday afternoon to eat your whatever. But this just goes back to the base idea that it's easier to maintain a rule 100% of the time than 99% of the time. And therefore, cheat meals should not be scheduled. Cheat meals should be accidental. And that when you have to cheat, you should mitigate. So if you have to go to a cocktail party, you can get the vodka tonic. You don't have to get insert some more sugary, caloric cocktail. Instead, we're cheat mealing, 4 hours a day, once a week, or 8 hours on the weekends. So it should be accidental, not scheduled. That's the first thing I'm thinking about this week as I've been driven. I've driven myself. I'm not blaming anybody else. As I've driven myself over to Dunkin' Donuts, I think 2 or 3 times now in the last 5 days. But I think even if you carry on with this cheat meal strategy where it's intentional and it's scheduled, if you're one of those people who is way too big of a believer in everything Tim Ferriss says, at least you can acknowledge that after you eat a cheat meal, we usually feel like crap, right? Even though we scheduled it and we said, well, it's good for me for these 7 pseudo-intellectualized reasons, we still feel bad afterwards. And so I think maybe the purpose of cheat meals is that once we finish eating one, they are a great reminder that a cheat meal was not the thing we were looking for after all. See you next time.